over the years, I have covered loads of different Pokemon rumors, leaks, and everything in between. However, there's also been loads of fake leaks, right? Things that just weren't actually real, that were just created by people wanting to, well, just put something cool out into the world, or just to mess with, well, everybody. So today I want to take a look at specifically that subject. Some of those old fake leaks, but some of the best ones, some of the leaks that genuinely took a lot of effort and time to actually create, and that we look back to, you know, today as one of the best things ever to happen during the leak season. So let's look back at some of the best Pokemon fake leaks. Oh, but first also a message from our sponsor. Oh, ha ha ha, I'm having a great time.
You should play Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my god, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Play Raid, kid.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends, that's celebrating its 4th year anniversary. And whoa, guys, whoa, don't throw rats on my screen. Now, one of the coolest things about Raid has got to be the champions. Like, there's just beautiful. You already saw 2 of our friends earlier, Death Knight and Ultimate Death Knight, but there's so many more, guys. My personal favorites are the Lizard Men. These guys look very flaky, if you know what I mean. And of course, if you are a fan of PvP, then, well, Raid's got you there too. And like I said, it is Raid's 4th year anniversary, which is finally here, which means there are loads of free gifts, offers, events, and loads of stuff to get your hands on. And one of those things is the anniversary-themed champion, aka the epic champion Kalan the Shrike. And since it's Raid's birthday, the gifts keep on coming for all new players and all existing players. Simply use the promo code 4YearsRaid in the game, and you'll get your hands on 4 legendary skill tomes, plus other useful stuff. So what are you waiting for? Use our QR code or a link in the description down below to join us in Raid right now, and join me and I guess Dwayne over there. I guess we should start with one of the most legendary fake leaks to ever happen. We're talking about the leaked Dragon Bug video. Now, what are we talking about? Well, back in 2019, when Pokemon Sword and Shield were just revealed, there came out this video. This video was posted on 4chan, it was posted around on Reddit, a bit of everywhere, where specifically it showed some kind of new bug dragon looking Pokemon. It looked genuinely cool, and what was interesting was that it kind of matched one of the caves that we'd seen from the Sword and Shield trailer, which had already been shown to us a few days prior. So everybody went crazy at the time, including myself. However, I did personally think this one was fake. One of the reasons I thought this was by literally comparing the background of this actual video compared to the actual background we saw in the trailer. By looking at those, I kind of realized that most likely this was fake. It did look really cool though. It did look really realistic, and definitely was one of, if not the best, like, fake leak we've actually ever seen in terms of actual quality, putting the time and effort in, and, well, guess what? It was fake. Now, what was so really cool about this one was that the people who actually created it are called Throrock. Now, they actually have a YouTube channel where they explain how they did this. And I even think they have a little gag about me sitting and talking in a chair as a Rowlet, which is pretty cool. But nonetheless, what is the coolest though is that they made a video where they explained this whole process. I would highly recommend checking it out, as we'll give you more of an in-depth look on how they actually did this, what their thought process was behind it, and how they actually designed it. Now, like I said, personally, I did kind of assume this one was going to be fake, just based on a lot of things, like especially the background. That was the one thing that kind of put me off of this one. However, when it was revealed that it was fake, everybody was relatively shocked. People just didn't, you know, believe that this could be fake. It genuinely looked real. However, it was confirmed fake, and it turned out to be one of the best fakes we'd ever seen. And hey, I'm gonna be honest, I hope people come up with more of these. These are really cool. They get the community excited, hyped up. Some people get pissed off and hate it. Some people love it. It's just a little bit of everywhere. But I would just, I don't know, I would say to leakers out there, just go crazy, or, you know, people that make fake leaks, just have fun with it. It's just kind of a nice way to keep us busy until actual information comes out. Because at the end of the day, guys, remember, rumors and leaks, they're only temporary. And rumors and leaks, of course, should be taken with a mountain of salt. You shouldn't really believe them. Nonetheless, this was definitely one of the coolest ones ever. And what really, again, really cool was that it was a straight up Blender 3D model, which is just insane. Next was a leak from the Sun and Moon era, or specifically the Ultra Sun and Moon era. Now, you guys may remember that when Ultra Sun and Moon was revealed, a lot of people were shocked. They assumed that it was either going to be a sequel type game similar to that of Pokemon Black and White 2, but people didn't really know what to expect with it because we never really got a third version for, well, Pokemon X and Y, and we hadn't really seen a third version in over, well, almost 4 years. It's been a long time at that point. So when this showed up and we saw a version of Gladion that looked much older, a lot of people wondered, ooh, are we going to be setting this story in the future? Is this going to be set in a totally future setting with things change around? Well, it didn't turn out to be the case. However, this artwork right here was actually one of the coolest things ever. Now, it was actually created by MD. MD is actually a genuinely awesome artist, a friend of mine that I've known for a long time now. But the cool thing is, he even had, or I don't know if he made it, but somebody created it, a actual in-game version as well of this Gladion model, which once that was posted, made everybody go crazy for it. People were just convinced that this was real. Now, MD claims that when he made this thing, he wasn't even trying to troll or trick people. He just kind of made it for fun. But yeah, he just made it for the hell of it. And then people just kind of went a little bit crazy with it. Of course, do remember, rumors and leaks and all this stuff, it's all for fun. Don't go crazy if it ends up not being real or if you were duped. It's just for fun at the end of the day. Nonetheless, though, the actual gameplay image was a little bit different. That one is the one that made people genuinely think that it could be real because it matched the, you know, actual fan art or the concept art way too good. It looked just too similar to not be real. It was just incredibly well made, hence why everybody was so convinced that this was going to be a genuine leak, which of course it wasn't. As it turned out, it was fake, but nonetheless one of the coolest ones from the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon era. There's loads more from that time frame, but again, I think you guys will enjoy seeing those later down the line. Now, some of you may remember that we didn't actually know what the starter Pokemon 100% were going to be like for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So leading up to the point of these games being revealed, well, we didn't even know that they were going to be called Sword and Shield. We had a few hints towards it, a few rumors and stuff, but then there came this picture of what looked to be concept arts for brand new starters, and unfortunately we couldn't really tell if they were real or fake or not, because they had the usual low quality screenshots to make them look more realistic. However, these were made by Merix20, who created basically 3 new starter Pokemon, a little frog looking thingy, a little bunny, and a little goat. Turned out that actually kind of 2 of those ended up being genuinely real. Not actually real, as in those designs ended up being real, but we did get a bit of a bunny with Score Bunny, so that's actually accurate. Nonetheless, though, it is just a cool leak. I remember a lot of people went crazy for this one, including myself. Now again, with these kind of leaks, with these kind of concept arts and stuff like that, oftentimes it's going to be fake. These have a very hard time to leak. Now, the reason why these became so popular, I should point out, is actually because of Black and White. You see, during Black and White, somebody was able to get their hands on the starter evolutions of the original Pokemon and was able to show off the starters of Unova before they were officially revealed, and it was through these confidential concept arts that we got to see those, which pretty much confirmed them at that point. It confirmed that they were real, which I think is pretty crazy because, well, that was what proved that confidential leaks like that could actually happen. Hence why, you know, we kind of look at these, you know, sort of concept leaks as still being possible, because it could happen at any given time. When you least expect it, a leak could be real. We've had that with, you know, Sun and Moon. We've had that Ultra Sun and Moon. We've had that with everything. So just keep that in mind. Nonetheless, this is also a really cool leak. Next, we're looking at one of the more recent fake leaks that happened during the Scarlet and Violet, you know, hype season, which is specifically of the Fuecoco evolution. Now, you guys may remember this artwork that popped around and was swinging around the community, and a lot of people were wondering, holy moly, is it real? It really looked realistic. It really looked accurate. It genuinely looked like it could be real. However, of course, it wasn't at the end of the day. It was made by PK Skept over on Twitter, who posted later on saying that he was a creator of the Fuecoco Mommy, which is an interesting name for it. Nonetheless, this design really put a lot of people into a frenzy. People didn't know this was a final stage evolution, if this was a genuine, like, actual leak or not. Like, nobody really knew what they were looking at. Like, everybody was very confused. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the problem with concept leaks. Another season of leaks where we actually had genuine concept leaks was for Pokemon Sun and Moon. We didn't actually know what the evolutions of the starters would look like, but those ended up genuinely leaking, you know, just early on. Like, we actually got the concept arts of those leaks, and people in the community, people who were high up in the community, genuinely didn't think that those Sun and Moon leaks were real, which they turned out to actually be. So this is one of those cases where sometimes they will be real and oftentimes they will be fake, but again, it's just worthwhile taking a look at and just keeping in mind. And in this case, this was one of those situations as well. Personally, I think these were sick, but again, nothing really came from it. And of course, we can't do this video without including one of the most legendary legendary fake leaks of all time. We're talking about the Sun and Moon fake leaks. Now, these were some of the most epic things ever. Now, at this point, we didn't know these starter evolutions. We didn't know the starters. We didn't know really anything about Sun and Moon. I think at the time, we'd only received the actual logos of the games, and that was just about it. We didn't really know anything else about them. So, there's a lot of questions in the air. What were the starters going to look like? What were the main characters going to look like? What was anything going to look like? And at the time, there existed fake leaks, but none of the leaks had ever gone as far as this one. Now, this leak was created by Zerudes over on DeviantArt. Now, Zerudes went into this whole process of creating this. He said, with every new generation of Pokemon that comes, a fresh set of new leaks also show up. It's pretty much a tradition now. And as you may probably know, many of you have seen the fake Sun and Moon leaks revealing trainers and starters. And of course, if you haven't, you could always check those out. But obviously, they were fake, as the Japanese text was poor, and even the 4chan stuff, was just kind of very obvious to a lot of people. However, they decided to go all out on this. They went into a whole discussion with the team to create one of the craziest things ever by tweeting out some predictions and maybe just like trying to give a little bit of hints of what they were going up to. They created a grass starter, a fire starter, and of course, a little water starter. All these guys looked accurate as hell to Pokemon. They looked just so Pokemon-like. The designs were perfectly mimicking that Sugimori art style, and then of course they went and designed the trainers as well. And these, well, they looked really good. They looked accurate. Of course, they looked a lot older than we were used to, Pokemon characters, but nonetheless, they looked really good. They created the silhouettes for the box arts. Instead of just showing them on there, they didn't want to actually show any sort of legendaries. They just created these kind of silhouettes for them, which looked really good. And now that I look at these, I'm like, man, these could have been some sick looking Pokemon. However, they created the biggest thing, which was they made their own page in CoroCoro, like a fake CoroCoro page. Now, back in the day, CoroCoro, for those who do not know, was a magazine and still is a magazine that used to actually give us information of Pokemon stuff earlier than actually Pokemon themselves. They would put a bunch of stuff in there, and those scans of those leaks would come out every month or so, and sometimes would actually include brand new information that hadn't been officially revealed in a trailer or anything of that sort. Hence why there was a lot of excitement whenever a fake CoroCoro would show up. People would genuinely believe them, and in this case, people went all out. They decided to create a fake CoroCoro page, and then also made an in-game screenshot of one of their Pokemon, which genuinely, again, looked good. But they did try to kind of look at, make it look a little bit half-assed in some areas, especially the Japanese. But the Japanese on the, fake CoroCoro pages, they didn't go all out on it. Instead, they tried to make it look a little bit messed up. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, one of the coolest things was the in-game screenshot. They literally genuinely made a render, which I think is pretty awesome, but nonetheless was pretty cool. So they made a render that was kind of just a mock-up, and yeah, it just sold everybody on the ID. This, in my opinion, was one of the most legendary ones. There are a few more, but that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below, and please let me know in the comments, what was your personal favorite fake leak? But also let me know if I should make a part 2. If you guys want to see a part 2 to this video, let's try to get this one to maybe 500 likes if possible. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Have a great day.